What's up, man? Welcome back to another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House. I'm Mike Gentile, along here with Anthony Vitale. And tonight, we want to welcome to the show none other than Mr. Claudius Raphael.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Redhook.
Thank you. Good being here.
We're happy to have you on the show.
Absolutely, brother.
But you're a Brooklyn native, no?
Originally, and then I grew up in South Jersey in Long Branch.
But you're originally from
Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
And when did you make the jump over to Jersey?
When I was 2.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right.
the family's here. The family's still here.
He's got that Brooklyn look, though, no?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
You guys are being too kind. Cut that out. Cut that out.
He's got the Brooklyn accent.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
So welcome. Thanks for coming down to the Function House.
Thank you for having me, guys. Really, I appreciate
I'm a
being
big
here.
fan. I'm a big fan of Claudius.
Ah.
We've actually had the pleasure of working with each other a bunch of times.
Yes, we have. We've been in the streets together,
Yeah,
definitely.
So I've been a big fan. I like your
Where
music.
did you guys work together?
We've done a lot of private parties together.
A lot
Yeah.
of private parties together. Actually, we shared a venue back in the day. You were doing Juliet,
Sunday nights at Juliet.
and I was doing Saturday nights at Juliet.
Yeah, that was a great party.
Yeah.
So how did
Good
you
days.
guys cross paths?
Through DJing.
Through DJing, yeah.
I think I first met in like Sushi Samba, a party we were doing at Sushi Samba.
Yeah. Okay.
A
Cool.
long time ago, it was a brunch party.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Marco Peruzzi was doing that. Yeah.
And you were playing the house, and I was like open format, but loving the house style. You know.
Nice. And then we really crossed paths at the private parties down
the private party scene.
in Deal. Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, so he was a part of that
Yeah.
that whole scene, the private parties down
Yeah.
the deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. The crazy ass parties down there.
Bunch of good parties together.
Okay.
So what's going on right now? What are you doing?
Right now, I'm still DJing, obviously.
I know I seen that you were at Electric Room last night.
I was hanging out supporting my boy Yura
Okay.
for his Playroom party on Mondays. And I'm gonna be at Gia this Wednesday for Roberto Buccelli's birthday party.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I'm at Mulberry Project on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm basically the music director there.
Okay. So how many nights a month do you playing these days?
Well, 3 nights a week.
Okay.
3 nights a week, definitely.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a busy.
Staying busy.
Yeah.
That's a busy schedule for a
Especially
DJ.
being a family guy, you know, it's like,
Exactly.
it's tough being in the nightlife scene.
It's not easy, but it's a part of my life.
That pays the bills, right?
Exactly.
Well, I think he's still in good shape for all these years.
Oh, good shape. I'm still working out. Hold on. Still working out.
So, so you know, the way we break bread here is we like to find out like how you started.
Sure.
You know, I
sure.
mean, the show, our show is truly dedicated to the art of DJing and the art of like how it originated for you individually as a DJ.
Okay.
Your inspirations. So we want to hear your story. We want to hear, how did Claudius get into the bug of DJing, the game of DJing? How did it start for you?
I got into this game through a gentleman called Greg Anderson.
Okay.
It's my mentor. Taught me the ropes back in 1986. Back then, I was listening to Tony Humphries on 98.7 Kiss FM, obviously the master mix. And that was a big thing for me. Like, originally, I was a big fan of hip hop. And after the hip hop show, Red Alert show, was Tony's show.
Yep.
And I would hear this music that was completely different from what I'm accustomed to hearing on the Red Alert show. So I was like, what is this music? And then I started to really get into it. So as I was taping, because, you know, back in the day, that's what we did. We taped the shows that we loved the music.
Yep.
I started to really tape the Tony Humphries shows because the music really spoke to me. It was different. It was a calling for me. And then during those days, I met up with Greg Anderson, and he was a DJ back then, and showed me the ropes.
So this was all in South Jersey, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what year was this?
86.
86.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, long time.
So what was the first club you did in South Jersey?
First club I did with South Jersey was, oh my God. Well, this was John Bon Jovi's brother's club, Matt. Matt and Vinny opened up a club in Jersey called Elements. And that was the first club that I started DJing
You're half
at.
Italian.
Pretty much I've been adopted.
I mean, Jersey Shore DJing.
Well, not only that, my name is Claudius Raphael. I mean, obviously I'm going to be adopted by the Italians. So, yeah, I've been adopted a long time ago.
So 86, you started DJing. So Tony Humphries was a big inspiration to you.
Tony was the initial inspiration.
So did you used to go to the Zanzibar and hear him play?
Snuck into the Zanzibar back in the day. But it wasn't until Greg invited me up to the DJ booth to listen to DJ Little Louie Vega at Palladium. And that is what made me, it sparked that fire in my mind, like, I want to do that. Because I saw the way Louis captivated a crowd, and he was playing this music that was kind of like Humphries,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was his spin on things. And that's what really captivated my enthusiasm to really go forward and start DJing. So,
And Humphries and Vega, I guess, are on like the same tip because they play a lot of that soulful.
they play soulful. They play from the heart,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's pretty much my foundation. Coming up as a DJ, that was the original spark that really brought me into this whole light of house music. Yeah.
So you were playing vinyl.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing else back then. You know what I mean? I mean, it's either you were picking up your records at Dance Tracks, Satellite Records, 8-Ball Records,
Vinyl Mania.
I didn't go to Vinyl Mania that much. Dance Tracks was my spot.
Yeah, Dance Tracks was good.
Yeah, Friday on the afternoon, like Phil D pulling out records from the UPS boxes, like that's what I lived for. That was my hangout spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there any good record shops in any parts of Jersey?
There were, but I didn't go to those record spots. I paid the New Jersey Transit $25 round trip ticket to come all the way up here and get the experience from up here, because this is where I snuck into all the clubs and got all the inspiration that I was really looking for.
Right.
From up here. So
what year was it when you eventually moved here?
Well, I moved here back in 2007. I was staying down in Financial District, but before then, I was always up here taking, the trip to go to the various clubs, because of the friend and the mentor that I had was always working in the industry. That was my in. Yep. Like, he got me into all of the clubs that I really wanted to get into, and meet the DJs that I really wanted to meet. Like, he would go to the RPBC record pool party on 14th Street back in the day. That's where I met DJs like Eric Murillo, Kenny Dope, Todd Terry, like, guys that were doing this back in the 90s, and they were all just starting out, just as I was just starting out. And this was the circle that was, that I was trying to get into, that I was, really inspired by.
Yeah.
So I was always taking the trip up here to, get that inspiration.
So who were some of the DJs? So obviously Tony Humphries was a DJ that you followed back in the day. Who are some of the other DJs? So you mentioned guys like Vega and Murillo. Did you used to go out and hear these guys play? I mean, you know.
Benji Candelaria was a big influence on me. John Gungi Rivera, obviously, big influence on me. And that circle in itself, like Hector Camacho, Roger Sanchez, obviously, you know, a lot of the Strictly Rhythm guys, big influence on you know, on how I viewed this music. Obviously, David Mancuso.
Yeah.
You know, old school guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, well,
I know I'm dating myself, like, you know. with
no,
all these
well, I
names.
mean, it's funny that you mentioned a guy like David Mancuso because, you know, you watch these documentaries and stuff and they talk about, you know, the originators of, like, parties and
Sure.
starting the whole club
Sure.
scene. And
Sure.
you talk about a guy like David Mancuso, which I don't even think he knows how to mix a record, right? I mean, he just knows how to play.
He knows how to play music for his people.
Yeah. Yeah, and
You
like,
know what I mean? Like, whereas some people would put more emphasis on, you know, the technique of mixing music, that's fine, but there's still an art form in the selection.
Well, that kind of took over now, you could say.
Yeah?
You know, like, it's all about selecting music.
Sure, sure.
Nobody's really concentrating on, like, say if you're an open format DJing, scratching or stuff like that. It's just really about songs that are being played.
Right. Right. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's why I respect, you know, people like David, even though he, you know, was not known for smoothly transitioning a record from here and there. It was the selection. It was about the sound quality of the actual format that he was playing.
So, like, he was one of the original pioneers, and then you had guys like Nicky Siano, who was like a
Sure.
pioneer, right?
Well, I've never listened to Nicky play out and about, but I do know of his name.
What about Larry? Did you ever get a chance to hear him
Never
play?
had a chance to hear Larry play.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only times, I mean, obviously, I was too young back in that time, but you know, you hear some of the sets that they have floating around on the internet.
Yeah.
To really get a chance to like experience, like, you know, like they said he had an art of like banging tracks in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Well, Larry's another one that, you know, and this is from what I heard, even though he may not have, you know, the technique
Yes.
of, you know, smoothly transitioning over, he was focused on, like David, playing the right song at the right time. And he had the most powerful sound system in the city
yes.
to back him up, you know, at the Paradise Garage, yeah.
So when did it, you know, like we always talk about this with DJs on the show in terms of, you know, when it clicks for you, you know, when it clicks, when you realize the element of like, yes, I know, like I need to be backing this song up with this song, and like, wait, I'm at this point in the night, I know if I drop this track in, I know I'm going to get the biggest response ever. You know, because it's different for a lot of DJs. You know,
Yeah.
some DJs capture it early on, and some DJs
Takes a while.
Some DJs never capture it. You know, so when was it like finally clicking for you? When you're like, all right, I think I understand what it is. It's not just about matching those records, because matching the records is the easy part, really, right?
Building the anticipation for those.
Building the entire, taking people on the Jersey.
How, like, you know, did it, you know, like, because I know, like, for me personally, it was somebody like tapping me on the shoulder and saying like, hey, you know, you need to pay attention to what you're doing,
Right.
because, you know, you're not playing the right records at the right time. And then I was like, wait a second, so there's more to this,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, how was it for you?
I think for me it was, and again I keep going back to Louis because he was a really, really big influence on me. It was at Sound Factory Bar on a Wednesday when they were doing their party on Wednesdays. He was just launching the Nuyorican soul concept, and he had George Benson come in and do You Can Do It, Baby. And that's when I heard a house DJ actually stray from the normal 4 on the floor, normal house count to something that was a little bit different. And the entire New Eurekan Soul album isn't just 4 on the floor. There's down tempo, there's up tempo, there's salsa, there's all kinds of stuff in there. And that's when I realized that when you're playing a set for a crowd that's educated and a crowd that is willing to take the journey with you, it's your responsibility to take the reins, take the steering wheel, and actually guide them along a journey. And it was because of that Wednesday party, that's when I realized it was more than just playing boom, 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 boom all night. You have to take them on a ride.
Yes.
So yeah, that's when things really clicked for me is the Sound Factory Bar Wednesday party.
So when you just grasped it in the sense of wow, I can be more creative, I can go, I don't just have to
Absolutely.
play.
I was caught up in the moment, and when you're caught up in moments like that, you're either going to let it, go by, or you're going to take it in for what it is and try to learn the lesson of the moment that's provided to you. So that's what I did, and I allowed it to influence me even further into, different realms of DJing, experimenting, educating, as well as playing for a crowd and reading a crowd and trying to provide them what they want to hear.
So when you talk about an educated crowd, sometimes it's very hard to come by them these days.
I was just going to say the same
Well,
thing.
these days, yeah, these days things are totally different.
So now you don't get the chance to play. Obviously, you don't get the chance to play the way you normally play.
No.
In nightclubs in New York City, at least.
I don't think a lot of us do in Manhattan have a chance to play what your heart is trying to express.
Basically, you can't be yourself.
You can't be yourself. And that's in Manhattan.
And why do you think that is?
I think because in Manhattan, Manhattan, we have to pay bills. That's it. And a lot of the venues are more focused on trying to get as much money as possible from the patrons, the clients, rather than providing them with something artistic.
It's just a business now.
It's a business now.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I get it.
It's always been a business, though.
But it's more of a business these
days.
days.
Today, because there's more aspects of marketing, the DJ, the club, with all the social media and all that other stuff.
And there's tons of competition. So you have other DJs that are saying, well, if he won't play that, if he won't play Britney Spears, or if he won't play Drake or whatever have you, I'll play it. And the venue will go with that DJ.
See, but I feel like there's a movement right now, and it's moving on the outskirts of Manhattan.
It is.
And it's because of, well, this is my opinion on it, the real estate. You open up a club in, let's say, the Meatpacking District, and the rent is $50,000 to $75,000
Right.
a month, and you have to bring in bottle clients, and you have to bring in those type of clients to pay your bills. But you go on the outskirts of, say, a Brooklyn, a Redhook, where you can get a 5,000 square foot place for, let's say, $10,000 a month. You don't really need to go that crazy with bottle service.
Right.
And that's why these venues are opening up now, and they're popping up all over Brooklyn. And there's a scene in Brooklyn now for house music.
Well, Brooklyn is the breath of fresh air for our scene. Because
and it's becoming the underground now.
Right. Because it provides that angle of the aspect. We don't have to cater and play mainstream music in order to, have people have a great time. People actually are looking for something that's a little bit different. They're looking for something, out of the norm. They want to go on that journey.
Do you think that in today's day and age of the business of DJing, that the shelf lives of these DJs, even the DJs that are killing it, like a DJ comes up, an open format DJ, and he's playing 5 nights a week, he's playing all the hot clubs. Do you think the shelf life may be shorter for these DJs?
Absolutely.
In this day and age?
Absolutely.
Because of the exposure and how people get tired of things really fast. And
it's a concept of the flash and pan. You know what I mean? It's like when you cook something, you cook it at high heat. It's going to burn very quickly. Same thing with DJs. And that's why one of the reasons why I don't play in so many different clubs nowadays is because I want to scale back. I play at Mulberry Project because I get to play whatever I want. It may be open format because it's a bar.
Yeah.
I have to play, bar style music, but at the same time I get to play whatever I want, and the people that come to show up, they're coming for the journey that I'm taking them on. So if you're gonna play the game that the industry needs to be played, you're gonna burn up quick. They're gonna consume you, and then there's no more.
Because I think the way it was where DJs back in the day, they played a residency, they had a spot for a very long time, and they developed that following. We did a stream a few weeks ago on a boat with Roger Sanchez, Hector Romero, and Forward Disco, and
big shout out to Forward Disco.
Yes, and the people, that came to that party, that they were religious followers of these DJs.
When they came.
They came to
dance.
I haven't seen that in a while.
They came to dance.
It was not a young crowd.
Right.
Right. There were no teenagers there. Not that there would be anything wrong if there was teenagers there, but what I'm saying is that it was people who were like, we're going to that party because we know that the music is going to be serious. And
they were experienced.
And every one of the DJs that played that night, really, it was an amazing set.
That's because what you witnessed was the crowd giving their energy to the DJ, and the DJ being able to reciprocate that energy right back to the crowd. And that does not happen often in New York.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's a dying breed.
I wouldn't say dying breed, because like he said, in Brooklyn, you have an entire cosmos operating on its own that's growing more and more by the day, of people that are of the same mindset. Whereas they want to come to a party where they're going to be taken on a journey, and they know their responsibility in that party, whereas they are there to give energy to the collective. And whatever party that is, whoever they book, that DJ knows to take that energy and reciprocate it back. That's what creates an amazing party. Not me playing for, a bottle client that walked in and he's spending $10,000, so I gotta play X, Y, and Z. None of that. Total opposite. That's what's going on in Brooklyn right now.
That's why
and it's going to and it's going to continue to grow. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. This show in itself is going to breathe life more into our industry. It's going to give light to DJs and producers that didn't have that access to media that was there before. You know what I mean? You guys are giving light to people that will probably be passed over. Kind of like myself. it just is what it is. So, cheers to that.
So did you prepare something for us tonight?
I'm going to be honest with you. I never prepare.
Okay, that's good.
What I do is I play from my heart. And when I play tonight, I'm going to play as though I played in my bedroom, which is where I started, in my bedroom. Like a lot of DJs.
Yep.
So I'm just going to play from the soul. That's it.
Well, we're really excited to hear you play.
Yeah, we're definitely excited.
Cool.
And we don't want to waste no more time.
Yeah? Want to get into
We're
it?
going to get into it.
God, I wish I could smoke.
We're gonna take a 2-minute break. We're going to get Claudius up on the tables.